Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hello, my friends. It's good to remember this world is not as real as it appears. We need not take it so serious in all the details. This is a magic show, and we have come here projected into this show in order to become more self-aware. This is the purpose we are here, gaining experience, growing, outgrowing, expanding the experience of that essence. It's good to remember that we are here for this. Let's not go through the life half asleep and so totally absorbed in all the details of the day-to-day life. Nothing wrong with them. We can do our duties, we can do what we need to do. But it's good to remember, hey, this is just a momentary appearance. I'm here to learn, to grow, to outgrow. If we live like this, then we come back out of a lifetime with a tremendous wealth. Everybody is getting enriched coming into this world. Everybody goes out richer, even if they don't have a spiritual thought, even if they don't have much of consciousness, still just bearing with the day-to-day life, with all the confrontations that come. It's accumulating something very precious. Essentially, we are not changing. Essentially, we are that divinity. But the experience of it keeps on expanding and unfolding. And having projected in this time-space gives us a great opportunity within short time to expand enormously. Let's not waste our chances by being so totally absorbed in whatever the life brings up. Whatever comes, we deal with it, we let it go without being emotionally locked into it all the time. Nisargadatta once said to somebody, "You are a bundle of hooks, and the world is just rings and rings and rings, and wherever you go, you are getting hooked, you are getting stuck there. Everything becomes difficult, and you cannot go around try to destroy all the rings that you're not more getting hooked. Simply straighten out your hooks, that you are not more getting locked into things." And how do we straighten out our hooks? By learning to live consciously, by learning to live from moment to moment, by reminding ourselves to bring the attention back when we become aware how much we are so totally absorbed and overwhelmed by the things that are happening. Just step by step back. Become aware what you are experiencing here, now, right now. This is a life. Connect with that. All we have in the mind are just thoughts that we are churning around, building up scenarios on scenarios and scenarios, getting all absorbed in them, getting all emotionally hooked into them. Just be here, be now, conscious of being alive, conscious of breathing, conscious of experiencing, conscious of having thoughts and feelings, but let them come and let them go without hooking into them. Then life becomes what it is meant to be, a playful, joyous journey through this time-space continuum, getting richer for the experience with every moment. It's good that we have every day some time where we are doing nothing else, where we can put your total attention just on that, on being conscious, on being alive, on being here now, in the timelessness of the now. But then don't forget about it when you come out of it, when you go for your profession, in the family, with friends, while shopping. Whenever you remember, just at that moment, reconnect stronger and relax and be in that as good as you can. If somebody goes through life half asleep, it's usually a painful business when it's just being pushed along by all that is happening, by subtle currents that push and pull, and people are not aware that they are there, but there is very predictably just unrolling a probability that is hanging there and it's manifesting. But if you learn to be awake, then you become authentic, then you become original, then you learn, then it's not simply the probabilities that have to manifest, but you learn that to express yourself, that inner beauty, that inner creativity, spontaneously, innocently, unpredictably. It seems for the mind, oh, this is hard, this is difficult, this is a very hard job, it's task that we are burdening on ourselves. It's how we were meant to be. It's how we basically naturally could live, should live. Simply, we have forgotten about it. Growing up in the world whenever, where hardly anybody thinks like this, and so we have not even the idea that we could live like this. And because of that habit, it appears to be hard, but it is not hard. Once we really sincerely go about it, then we become aware, actually, everything becomes lighter and lighter, less difficult, less, uh, things don't go so under the skin and hurt, because we can deal with them in a much more playful way, without getting attached to every emotion, to the situations, to our ideas. Then we become again like a child, in spite of having developed the intellect. Then that innocence comes back of just taking the situation in as it comes, deal with it and let it go, and being alive, being conscious. There is a great untapped potential in everyone. Just a little trickle of that usually comes to the surface when people live their day-to-day life, their usual life, being identified with the role they are playing. There's just a trickle of that potential manifesting itself. If we learn to bring the attention back, then more and more we become aware there is a tremendous possibility there. There is a depth we didn't suspect it's there. There's like deep lake. On the surface it may have waves, and there is a profound, deep silence below that. And out of the silence comes up bubbling that beauty and that creativity. And we can give it a chance to manifest. That doesn't mean everybody has to become an artist and paint pictures or make music or make tattoos to be creative. We can live just a totally ordinary life, but if we live in touch with that essence, then everything becomes creative. Everything becomes more and more just a beautiful expression of that inner beauty. Until that old habit of completely forgetting that is overcome, we don't get around of reminding ourselves and then find a way that helps us to connect, whatever comes easiest. A simple thing like breathing consciously, and you're right here. You can do self-inquiry when you find your attention running wild somewhere. Do the self-inquiry, bring the attention back. You can use a mantra. You can use just to feel the body sensations, and relax. One can invent one's own ways to go about it, combine it with other ways, but find something that comes natural, that comes easy, that is easy to remember. And when we remember, it's easy to put in practice wherever we are. Not simply when we are peacefully in our corner, but when we are in the midst of the crowd, when we are in the midst of activities, we can bring the attention back and be aware how that experience is affecting me right now, what it is doing to the body energetically. Be here, be aware, and learn to relax in no matter what circumstances. Let's not go through life half asleep. It's worth the trouble. We have come for that. We have come to be awake and not to be asleep. By all means, go to sleep when you need sleep, but when you are awake, be awake. Everybody is a manifestation and expression of the divine essence. We are not essentially sinners, like we have been told in different traditions. When I was a young man and working in the French part of Switzerland, there was a group of young Christians getting more and more popular in the region, but fundamentalistic oriented. And sometimes I would discuss with a young man who was working with another farmer there. And he said to me one evening, very gravely, I really have now realized we humans basically you are all bad. It is not true. It's what certain traditions try to tell us and then make us have a bad conscience and always make up, atone for the sins. You are not essentially sinners. Everybody, everything is a manifestation of that same divinity. Oh, we can forget it and then we may behave in all kinds of crazy ways because we don't realize that we are connected with all there is, because we have forgotten that we are essentially all one, even if there is a uniqueness in the expression, essentially we are all one. Let's turn the attention back to that. Remind ourselves that is the basic truth. Remind ourselves again and again until it sticks, until the attention naturally simply stays with that. And it will happen to everyone or the way. If you are practicing like this, if you are living like this, then sometimes it just happens. Suddenly there is peace. And doesn't know how it happened. There was no effort involved. Everything is at ease, at peace, and seems perfectly all right and in harmony. This may be a moment, this may be a period, but then out of habit, the mind starts again and starts again to make all these contradictory statements, creating tensions, making us again upset and worried. Often with fear of the future, completely missing that simple beingness. But if we continue to make ourselves available, if we continue to connect as consciously as we can, it will just happen again, more frequently, sometimes stay longer. And every time it happens, instead after that to be frustrated and angry that it passes, we can think, we can have the attitude to such a period. Thank you very much for that moment of grace. It gives a good pointer, it gives a good direction. This is our natural way of existing. And if we exist like this, then consciousness starts to expand effortlessly. You just have to be here now, conscious, alert, but relaxed, open, and then the experience starts to grow by itself. It may suddenly make a jump, you rotate in a totally new perspective, and from there it continues. One chapter is finished, it's the beginning of a new chapter, but the expansion, the learning never stops. Simply we can leave back all that, those mechanisms that make us suffer, that make us feel separate, that makes life so hard. And often people experience a real hell. It need not be like this. Everybody has that joyous divinity in themselves. Without that, nothing is. That is the first. And out of that, all the experience comes. Hariom, Hariom. Okay, I stop just talking by myself. Asking you, my friends, is there anyone who would like to come in, say something? You're welcome to do so.
Hi,
Hello, Werner.
Werner.
Uh,
Uh,
I think Ravi was first. So, hello, Ravi.
Hi, Werner.
Hmm.
It's been a big week. Um, I think I mentioned in the past, last time I spoke to you, that I've got an illness called chronic fatigue syndrome,
Yes.
and that I've had some other symptoms, um, which I don't believe are related to the chronic fatigue syndrome. So I saw a rheumatologist, and I'm getting tested for some kind of arthritis thing.
Hmm.
I just got another blood test back yesterday from my doctor, and it turns out that I've got vitamin B toxicity, which means because been taking vitamin B pills for a long time, it can affect some people, and there's another name for it, but um, it's not a good thing to have. It can take a long, 6 months to 3 years to recover from. Sometimes you don't recover at all. It can damage the nerves. It could explain the pain in my feet and my hands, and creates muscle waste. The muscles get weak and balance troubles. All these things I've been having. All these things could mostly potentially. I mean, I don't even know if we'll see what the rheumatologist says regarding the arthritis, because that could just purely explain the hands, but it could by itself, the vitamin B thing, explain everything I'm going through. Or maybe it's just the chronic fatigue. Um, uh, you have to excuse me because I'm umming and ahhing because my brain's very tired. I've, I really do feel like the way through this is just to surrender and let go. I also feel like it's a bit raw at the moment as I'm coming to terms. And, as you research things on the internet, I go into more dread about, how long will I have this for, and will I fully recover? And when I have symptoms in my body, I think, is it, is this just the chronic fatigue, or is this other issue that I've got?
Hmm.
Um, I don't know when I'll recover from it. And I feel like these thoughts in itself, there is a general sense. And, will I be able to walk, ever recover and be able to walk? Um, just the unknown factors, but my mind is like the emotion of dread is coming up. And that in itself, I feel like is not good. And also
Not
like
so
not
good.
healthy,
No.
not so good. And also the feeling of part of me doesn't even know if I should be like, and I've heard of this in the past, like it's kind of like they call it the doctor's voodoo curse. When you accept something, you've got an illness,
Hmm.
it can make it harder to get rid of it. Um, like if I explain to my friends what I've got, I feel like I'm probably going and I explain my concerns and stuff. I guess that is maybe I'm going to a victim consciousness. Or even if I think about, well, what foods, maybe I should, the more I read, as I read about it, I'm hearing a bit, you should reduce some of the foods that you're on that are high in vitamin B6 also. And part of me just doesn't want to do that because I feel like I might just go into a bit of fear around my foods from now on.
Yeah.
Um, so I can see myself creating a very unhealthy pattern out of this potentially if I go down the wrong track and any words of wisdom.
Just a question first. Are you now already in treatment for this condition that has come out from that last test, or you have to decide
Yeah.
about that?
No. So this
Uh,
condition, the vitamin B6 toxicity, I found out about it yesterday. There is no treatment really, from
yeah.
what I've heard.
Actually,
There might be, yeah.
I would recommend you stop all these medicine treatments because they treat something and they put more toxins in your body. Instead of that, take that simple thing like sodium citrate. I will write it to you. Sodium citrate, sometimes it's called natrium citrate or trisodium citrate. Take half a spoon once a day, mixed with water. It's cleaning out the body and you start to get better. It's totally harmless. It's used in a lot of food stuff. You can buy it in a pharmacy. And it's just cleaning out all that stuff. If you take again tons of medicines to treat that condition, then it may treat something. At the same time, you put again tons of new toxins in the body. And then, of course, there is the mental thing that the
Sorry, Werner, just coming back to that, what I've read on the internet is that there is no, like, at, at least in the Western medicine science circles, they say there's nothing you can do. You just have to wait. But what you're suggesting you feel is something that could be helpful. Is that
yes,
right?
that is
Yeah.
right. And they say a lot about a lot of things. Officially, there's nothing you can really do about it, but you can. And partly, there may be sometimes physical possibilities. That's just, for example, what I told you now. But then also how you deal with it mentally, that is very strongly influencing what is happening with your body. And you said it yourself. Once you take up that, like you're a convicted victim, you have now this or you have now that, then after that you get into that mood that you are now such a patient with that disease, then your mind can make it stronger and stronger by believing it and repeating it and talking about it. Or you can say, but I, in my center, in my core, in my heart, I'm complete, I'm healthy. Nothing can disturb that. Connect with that and let that inner health, that inner completeness flow out into the manifestation and heal the things. And a lot of things can be healed, but the medicine says it cannot be healed. It's a body, if we give it a chance, if we are not burdening it with mental strains, with energetic knots, a body left in peace to its own resources is miraculous what it can do in recovering. Basically, a body can heal itself. And if we're not disturbing it, then this is happening most of the time. But then, uh, when the idea is there, when there is an influence that creates always a heaviness, and then we look for a cause and we diagnose a disease, and then after that being a victim of disease, then of course then we are burdening again and again and prevent that we can heal. If we stop doing that, it's amazing how a body can recover. Connect with your inner purity. You're whole, you're healthy, you're complete in yourself, and let that flow into your manifestation as good as you can.
Thank you. And the thing I always like have a question about is it's the idea of what you say connect to that inner purity, that which is healthy and etc. What do you mean by healthy? That space? Because that's a when I think of health, I think of the body or lack of health of the body. Yeah.
Right. I say also that word healthy in connection when there is a problem with the body, but it's whole, it's holy. It's not full of tensions, creating pain and creating suffering. It's something that is naturally joyous and in harmony. That is what the healthy condition is.
Yes. Yeah. And you've used the word well-being in the past, which I actually like that word. I'm assuming in this situation that's a word that can also, because when I do connect to that space, there is a feeling of like having a golden sun ray on my face. Like it's a real space of feeling, it's a space of well-being. I guess it's the same thing as what you're talking about. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Are we? I are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Are we Facebook friends?
Um, I don't think so. I haven't used it for years, but I could definitely can use it. Yeah.
Yes. So then you can connect and we can communicate some more about how to go about it on Facebook Messenger.
Okay. Thank you. So I type messages to you. Is that right, Werner?
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
right.
Thank you, Werner.
We can write or we can talk there on Facebook Messenger. Not on my profile, but there is a messenger connected to Facebook.
That sounds really good. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hold on to
Mm.
that and not to the fear what could be wrong with you. Hold on to that inner pristine wholeness, that beauty, that joyousness of existence. And then let that flow into the body, and that helps the body heal tremendously. And if you let yourself from all the diagnosis and whatever tests you make drive into more and more of a panic, that is the best way to make the body sick.
Yes. And I can see that. I noticed today when I went into fear, it's like my body was already even more unwell straight away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
immediately a heaviness comes along with it. A heaviness that you feel you can't do anything, that cripples your creativity and your wanting to live.
Yes. Absolutely. And then that heaviness makes it even harder to see that it's possible to heal, to be
Right,
open to that.
right.
Yes.
You can get really in a spiral. The more you get into it, the more you get the confirmation something is totally wrong. The more you get the confirmation, the more you panic, and it's really can you pull you in a very dark place.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something connected with like healing for me being, even though it's so easy connecting, connecting and fit that it has that it's a difficult process. It's somehow in my consciousness,
Mm,
my my mind or something.
right. There may be the weight of karma that there are influences that don't make it so easy, but if we go about it patiently and persistently, even any amount of karma can be neutralized. Hmm.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you, Werner.
you're welcome.
Hurry on.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hurry on.
Okay, Dayal, you wanted to come in before? along with
Hello.
Ravi. Hello, Dayal. Ah,
Hello, Werner. Hello.
oh,
Um,
Anton, I'll come to you after. Huh? Yes, Dayal.
um, recently, I read, recently I read a book name of Transformation. Author is Luke Reinhardt. It is a book about training of Werner Erhard. He was American in 70s for giving seminars, usually 2 weekend seminars, and it was kind of psychotherapy with enlightenment mix. Did you hear about him anything?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you don't know.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I just was fascinated by his approach.
Yeah.
He was show he was show enlightenment for simple people who come just to try what is this, and he was able to explain it by forced ways. He was abusing people, make difficult rules for them, but in order to push them to experience reality, not just be in the head and thinking. So I just was curious, what do you think about short courses with difficult rules, very forced? I can even speak Vipassana, it's the same way. So how do you think about trying to quickly show to the people the way of liberation?
Actually, it should be very easy to quickly show everybody, except that our resistance is so strong that we don't want to see it so easily. It should be so easy that basically everything is so simple. Now, you say that man, he after that made like retreat like things and then forcing people into strange circumstances, or did I understand you properly?
He made 2 weekend seminars, and there he was doing. It was very popular in USA in 70s, and about 2 million of Americans was doing such courses, and it come to Europe. And maybe I will send you a link. Maybe you will understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't understand my pronunciation. So it was very famous movement in 70s in USA. So, and there was element of meditation, therapy, everything. He mixed everything what was possible, working quickly.
yeah.
So that was very interesting for me.
The thing is, with these people who have developed this kind of stuff and then seem to have success, that people really get the point. Usually it's totally momentary. That for a moment something goes through, but then they come back to their life and slowly, slowly it fades away and it's as if you had done nothing. Because the habit, how one is functioning, is so strong that if we are not keeping on and on, then the habit will take over again. We have to somehow stay on and on with it until that force of the habit is neutralized. Otherwise, people, they may feel very elated in such a wicked workshop and feel, it has changed so profoundly. I'm not sure what you are talking about, but I have seen people going to such places to all kinds of stuff was offered there suddenly in the 70s. And come back so excited and ecstatic, how wonderful and how clear everything is. It didn't take long time and it just slowly, slowly went away. And it's as if nothing has happened. You cannot just give
Mm.
persons a glimpse and then after that it's done. The work is done. There may be in a huge crowd once an exception that you get a glimpse and then you just stay with it. But usually, even those for the practitioner, suddenly you have a profound experience that sort of opens up totally, and then out of the old habit, slowly it seems to close again, and there is only the memory. And people who are not
Yes.
prepared, and then even if they are pushed into an unusual state, into an unusual experience, invariably, when they go into their old circumstances, slowly it's covering up again. And people who came back ecstatic from those things after a short time, you couldn't have thought that something ever has happened.
Okay, Werner, I understand your point, but I will send you a link. Maybe you will understand what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and you will give
The
me
thing,
more something about about his personality. Also, I was curious
yes,
who
uh,
was he.
that the myth of the shortcut. Everybody comes out with a shortcut. That the whole spiritual stuff you can shortcut. Actually, yes, the shortcut is there, open for everyone all the time. All we have to do is be centered in the essence and let go. It's just all our conditioning that prevents us from that. And even those who offer then a shortcut, they may be capable in a moment to connect that. But then, if that is not being worked on it and kept on and on until you are rooted in that, then it simply fades away again. Those shortcuts, they are a myth. The shortest cut is to connect with yourself here now and let go. But then our mind is preventing us all the time. And even if momentarily that works, then uh, for the next moment we are covering it up again. So there is no way around but to deal with all that stuff that is in our psyche preventing us. That doesn't mean we have to go analyze and look for dirt and go on and dig in the psyche, but if we honestly try to be at ease, at peace, and silent in the present, then things come automatically. You know that very well as an old meditator. You want to be at ease, at peace, and there the mind comes and blah, 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 and we somehow have to deal with it. We don't get around that. Anyhow,
Yes,
you're welcome to send me the links. No?
yes, I will. Thank you, Werner. Hurry on.
Dario. Okay, Anton.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Anton.
There are
You are
many
again
people.
with a group of people there.
Yes, many people. So, one beautiful woman and Buddha
Yes.
wants to ask you a question about what.
The Buddha want to ask a question?
Yes. Buddha wants to ask what has happened with the soul after the death of a body.
This is the question of that woman just beside you?
Yes, this is woman.
Ah, hello. Tiso.
Hello. Hello.
You speak English?
Very bad.
Very bad. Okay, he can tell you that. Your question is what happens to the soul after the death of the body?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Even now,
Prams
you,
čas.
what you, what you are, your real being is
Yes.
not incarnated. You are prior to that. You're prior to time, you're prior to space. And then from that position, you are projecting an aspect of you into this time space. And this is born as a human being and seems to form a personality independent, but that personality is simply a reflection of what you are. Even now, you're not born. You're not born, you cannot die. You're timeless, spaceless. Then when this projection is over, the baby grows up and the body gets old, then the body dies. This aspect of you is simply withdrawn in yourself, in your being. It, hmm.
Делают с плохими людьми в их религии.
She asked about the hell and
Hell and heaven.
yes, and heaven.
Yes,
What
hell,
do you?
hell and heaven, they are here in this world. We are creating our hell and we are creating our heaven. I'm sure there are subtle places where it's very unpleasant. There is subtle places where it's very pleasant, and you can project in those also. But you are prior to that. There is no need of being afraid of maybe you go to hell after that. There is no need of longing to go to heaven. These are all temporary states that are being created like this state, but you are prior to that. You are way beyond heaven. You are before the time, before the creation, and hell and heaven are also projections, are also creations. So don't be afraid of dying. Dying is absolutely not dangerous. Dying, this living in this world seems to be very dangerous, but dying is absolutely safe. It's like waking up from a nightmare, waking up from a dream. Ah, poof, it was what a story. Waking up from that. Come back home in yourself, where you are at ease, at peace, unvulnerable. Now it can happen that the mind is very much focused on problems, on pains, on suffering, and somehow that mental activity, when the body dies, goes on for some more time. And that is an experience of pure health. But this is temporary. It will work itself out, and then you detach from that and come back home to yourself. It can happen that if somebody believes so very much in heaven and has all the ideas what it is heaven, that fixation is so strong that after when the body dies, that experience continues and there is the experience of that heaven. But it's not like the church says, these are not eternal states, they are temporary. And even if somebody is in heaven, after that, you become aware this is also a projection, and withdraw from that, come back in your divine essence that is prior to hell, prior to heaven, prior to this world, prior to birth and death.
Правильно сказала?
Еще.
Namaste. Thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe after that you have to listen it again on the recording and somebody has to translate it.
Лафанчи Баксары. Кто-то еще будет задавать вопросы? Блин, спит. Задай ты вопрос.
Werner.
Is there anybody else with you who would like to say something?
Yes, I forgot what is love.
You forgot what is love.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
I find a prayer, but forgot about love. Only prayer.
Prayer.
Prayer, yeah. Only
Yeah.
prayer to the God. Not nobody here, nobody. No me, no God, only prayer.
Mhm. But I'm sure when you pray, when you sincerely pray, love is totally present. It's because of that love for God, it's love for the real, for the essence that you at all pray. Simply, maybe you are a bit focused on the prayer itself, but if you pray, observe the praying, learn to relax, you become aware there is that love that cannot go away. It's always there. It's that awareness of being connected. It's that awareness that there is no separation, that all is one, that awareness in itself is love. It's not an emotion, then emotions may come. The emotion of love can come, but that comes and goes. That changes all the time. But that real love, that love for the divine is simply there. And sometimes maybe when you focus very much on your prayer, you forget to be aware that there is that love at the base of it. You cannot understand love, but you are love. It's an aspect of you. And if you relax, if you pray and relax while praying, you become aware of that love that is totally present, never absent. So when you pray, relax. Don't be strained and hope to achieve something with your prayer. Use the prayer to become more aware of that connection and relax in it, and you are aware of love.
I find that my body is a prey to the gods. If it's present, it is a prey. So I don't need to do something to pray. Pray is happened.
You mean a prayer? Because if you say a prey, that means like an animal that goes hunting, then the other animal is the prey. Yes, you can say so. I mean, however we express it. What is happening here now is totally mysterious that we cannot fathom, that we cannot understand. And you can say, okay, the whole creation is a prayer of divinity.
Yes, I feel so. Yes.
Yes. So then you just bring your attention to that feeling that this is there, that is that connection divine is there, and relax in it, and there you're aware the love is never absent, has always been there. Sometimes when stuff has to work out, it may become a bit dry for some time. It feels like there is a bit the juice missing. But if you learn to relax in it, if you learn to let go in that awareness of the connection, then more and more that joyous, juicy aspect starts to bubble to the surface and becomes stronger and stronger as the time is passing.
Thank you.
Можно ваш просто созреть? А как жить по-женски, ну вот легкой, женственной, красивой, да, мягкой, любящей? Ну,
She asked about how to be a woman in this reality.
How to be a woman.
Yes.
Время нужно быть сильной.
She must to be strong, but she don't
Много
want it.
ответственности.
She wants
А как это легко?
to know how to be a woman so playfully.
Right. Did I understand properly? She has to be strong, but she doesn't want to be strong. Or what did you say?
She wants to be a woman, but she can't because she is very seriously.
Жить по-женски, мягко.
She wants to live as a playful woman, not serious
Ah,
to
right.
this life. How to do that?
Whether you're serious or whether you're playful, you still can be a woman. It's temporary. You are prior to being male or female, but as a manifestation, as an expression, okay, you're a woman, and it doesn't matter whether woman or man. If we are taking ourselves very serious, then it's becoming very difficult. If we learn to not take ourselves so serious, then everything becomes so easier. Just learn to be natural. Instead of always wondering, how should I be? How do I have to be? What do they expect of me? What is the society expecting of me? Learn to be natural. Relax, be natural. And then the question how to be a woman doesn't even arise. Yes. When you find yourself in a situation and everything seems to be so heavy and difficult, remind yourself, this is just temporary. It's not as real as it appears. I'm just here to confront this situation in order to learn to become stronger. But stronger doesn't mean to become more tight, uptight, and serious. Stronger simply means to be capable to face difficulties and remain relaxed. So when you are in a situation, it's difficult, then you just center, you breathe, and you relax. Center, breathe, and relax. And already it's getting much easier. Om Namah Shivaya.
Хорошо.
Scripted response. Okay. One more question.
Я хочу спросить, что у меня нет страха смерти у самой, а страх смерти близких. Hello.
Hello.
She has a fear of a death. What to do with this?
Yes, that's ingrained. Everybody has it somewhat, because it has somehow been put into this body that it wants to survive. So there is the fear of that. Some more, some less, but everybody has some of that. When fear comes, anything actually we are afraid of, it's always connected with the fear of death, with the fear of annihilation, with the fear of the unknown, because we feel secure as long as we think we know, as long as we think we understand, then we feel secure. And then when we don't understand, when we don't know, and the unknown is there comes fear. If that fear comes, let it come. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Accept, okay, there is fear. But instead of then going with the fear and being pulled into a dark place, simply see what that fear is doing to your experience right now. Observe what it is doing in your body, how you get tension in your body. Observe what it is doing to you energetically. And then when you see that, when you see how with the fear you build up more and more tensions, you can do the opposite, consciously start to relax. But don't fight the fear. When the fear comes, let it come. Invite it. Okay. Now that the emotion is there, the fear is there. See how it is affecting your experience right now. Redirect the attention what brought the fear about. Don't think of that or this or that anymore. Just, okay, fear is here. It's real as an experience. But observe, see in your body how it is manifesting. See where it is knotting up, where it is creating tension, and learn to relax. Breathe and relax. See what it is doing to you energetically, how the flow of the life energy is getting blocked. And you relax. You breathe and relax. And then after some time, the fear goes away, but then the next day, it may come back. And then you do the same again. If you just can drop it, you drop it. But if it's coming back and you're getting more and more tense, then accept, okay, fear is there. Not resisting, accept. All right. Invite the fear, invite the experience when it's insisting. And again, do the same thing. Observe what it's doing to your experience right now, physically, energetically, and learn to relax. Breathe and relax. And gradually, fear is not more a problem. Because fear is such a problem because we are afraid of the fear. We are afraid of being afraid. And then the fear becomes bigger and bigger. If you learn to accept, okay, there is fear, and the fear comes, you deal with it, it goes, then you are not more afraid of the fear. Then when fear comes, okay, come, deal with it, it goes. Do you understand English?
Ну,
He
у нас есть Антон.
he
We
will
have Anton that translate
he will
something.
translate after that. Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we leave
Okay.
it at that? Hurry up. Hurry up.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hurry up.
With love. We love you.
Oh, Namah Shivaya.
Love loves you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else who would like to come in?
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Nelly.
Yeah, I want to share something.
Mhm.
Some time ago, we went to the movie and we watched a movie, maybe 3D or 4D movie, like we were flying under Earth, under Moscow, and watching everything. So
Yeah.
there was some effects like we are flying
Yeah.
and some objects fly to us and we see a lot of things, and such an interesting effect I noticed in myself. So like some sensations very familiar. I don't know, like it some thoughts came to me that something like this happens after death, that I'm flying without body, and I didn't was afraid of some objects that flies into me or through me. So I felt very relaxed and enjoying it, and yes, very interesting feelings, like they are familiar for me, like I really don't feel this body and don't care that some damage can happen, just enjoying flying and seeing all this. So I wanted to share this. Maybe you can comment something.
Right. Actually, you don't have to wait until death, because yes, it is a familiar experience. You're doing that in your dreams a lot and a lot. Simply after that, we forget about it.
Yes, and my dreams, I don't see dreams like this.
You don't see dreams, but
yes.
you're doing much more in your sleep than you remember after that.
Yes, I don't remember. Yeah.
Right. That's what it is. Then people go out of the body with their subtle bodies and do this kind of flying that you are describing, and then they go back. But then after that, they don't remember.
Okay.
But because of that, you feel it's so familiar because you do a lot of that. Simply, you don't remember.
Okay, maybe yes. Okay, it's very fantastic for me. It was so easiness. I felt so much easiness.
Right.
Yeah.
Like also when you are in a dream and you become aware it's a dream, then it's a lucid dream. Then suddenly it's so easy. Even if it was a difficult situation, then it's just a dream. The fear, any fear of being hurt is gone. Huh?
Yes. I didn't feel any fear that something can happen with me. That I'm not a body. Yes, I'm like a
Right.
breath. Воздух. Ear. Yes.
So there
Yeah.
you get a taste of how you could feel if that fear of being hurt was absent.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Then you had to put on some kind of device on your head to in the cinema.
No device. No, they like we just they moved us. We were some. So we had a screen and
big screen, and the chair was moving, and the air was
Oh,
moving.
I see. That gave you really the feeling of flying through that space.
Yes. Yeah.
And there you felt no matter what you see, nothing can hurt you, nothing can happen. Now you have to learn to live like this.
Yeah. Yes, even I thought maybe some people who take drugs, maybe they feel something like this. I thought, because it gave me some interesting experience. Yes, very interesting. Maybe
Right.
yes, maybe like drugs. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, or drugs, after all, they are simply trying to imitate what one could experience naturally if one wouldn't block it. So you don't have to go to drugs, simply learn to let go that fear, all these blocks that we are usually carrying along with us, and then you live in that fearless space. And it feels like everything is going by itself and nothing can really hurt you.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, I will. Yes, I try to remember this feeling without fear and
Yes,
live in it. Yes.
right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes,
You're
very.
welcome. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Would anybody else like to come in, say something? That's why I come back all the time telling, remember, remember this is not as real as it appears to be. We have grown into this experience, and then once it is established, once that me personality is established, then our thoughts have the tendency to turn around and round and round that all the time. From the moment one wakes up till one goes to sleep, it's always about me, my, I, me, mine, and the stories that belong to it. And by thinking about it all the time, we make it so solid. It appears to be so real. If we just can learn to redirect the attention and not be locked on that level, then suddenly that apparently total solid reality becomes more and more transparent. And is not more so solid and not more so real as it appears to be. Of course, we are then influenced by the general mind of humanity. Each one is creating their own world, but there is a basic creation that everyone is building up their personal creation on top and thinking about their stories is making it so solid. And the pull is so strong that we go along and think and think and think and never even think. Maybe we need not do so. We need not create our reality always so terrible, so apparently dangerous. If we stop doing that, then what Nelly just described, that you more floating through your existence becomes, that feeling becomes more and more. That that awareness, no matter what is happening, even what is happening to this body, if something happens to this body, that you cannot be hurt. That there is that aspect in everyone that cannot be hurt. If we simply bring the attention back to that, make that our home, get rooted in that, then life becomes a playful journey. And yes, even the body stops to feel like a body, like solid, like a solid body, but more like a bubble of energy. Okay, since nobody wants to talk, let's just for a moment simply be here. Aware of being alive. Aware that we are connected. Now, all these people who are attending this satsang, we are specially connected. Aware that we are in one space, even if physically are in very different spaces. And then when we relax more and more, that awareness tones that actually we are connected with everything. to simply be here, now. Conscious. Consciously conscious. Consciously alive. And relax. And let go. And when thoughts come and want to carry the attention away from that, then don't fight the thoughts. Let them come, let them go. Simply redirect the attention. Don't get interested in the thoughts, but simply redirect the attention. Bring it back to that immediate awareness of being here, now, alive, conscious. Intensely alert and yet relaxed. Alert and relaxed. But ease at peace, naturally. Don't get interested in the mind, in the thoughts. These are all stories. Come back to the source, to that which makes the experience possible. That immediate, direct awareness of being here, now, conscious, alive. And let go. Relax. And then slowly we can become again more aware. Okay, there is a body, we can move, we can be active, but we can keep that awareness. We can keep the memory at least. There is that solid ground. It's never absent. It's always here. Then we can get up again and be with people and remind ourselves, oh yes, but here, now, there is always that solid, peaceful ground, no matter what is happening. And more, we can be in that meditative state, even when we are active, even when we are with people. I wish you all well. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.